Hello, everybody. I'm Talia Moosman. I am from the Mosquito Grizzly Bear Headleyman First Nation. I am a co-founder and leader of the Musqueam Youth Group, and alongside me I have...
Hi guys, I'm Kiana Moosman. I'm from the Mosquito Grizzly Bear Headleyman First Nation. I am a co-founder and leader of the Musqueam Youth Group. Today is Trivia Treaty Thursday.
There we go. Treaty Trivia Thursday.
And it is for cash prizes. There is 10 questions. They are basic, simple treaty questions. People, we need to know where we come from.
A lot of them are really easy, so you can just really call in and just give it your answer.
The questions will be on the screen. I will get her to pin the number in the comments.
Oh yeah, I have to
because the questions will be on the screen.
So once again, you guys know how these go. You call in, give us your answer. If you get the right answer, we put you down, and at the end of the night, you put you on a wheel, and you'll see if you win some money.
Yes. So we are first going to start off with a recap of yesterday. And yesterday, we learned about what Wikipedia has said, or what Wikipedia describes us as being First Nations, and what First Nations have become and where they've come from, the different tribes. Some of them, we also learned about Christopher Columbus and how he thought he was in East Indies, but yet he was, in First Nations.
You're giving away some of the answers to the questions.
That's why you pay attention. That's why you listen, folks.
All right. So what Wikipedia has to say about First Nations. In Canada, First Nations are the predominant indigenous people in Canada south of the Arctic Circle. Those in the Arctic area are distinct and known as Inuit. The Métis, other distinct ethnicities developed after European contact and relations primarily between First Nations people and Europeans. There are 634 recognized First Nation governments or bands spread across Canada, roughly half of which are the provinces of Ontario and British Columbia. Those are going. Oh, in total, there are
977,235 Canadian First Nation flags.
Yes. Under character jurisdiction, First Nations are a designated group along with women, visible minorities, and people with physical or mental disabilities. First Nations are not identified as a visible minority by the criteria of Statistics Canada. First Nation Indigenous people have cultures spanning thousands of years. From their oral traditions are accurately describe historical events such as Cascadia earthquake of 1700 and the 18th century TCX cone eruption. Written records begin with the arrival of European explorers and colonists during the Age of Discovery. Beginning in the late 1500s,
just take out the important
European accounts by trappers, traders, explorers, and missionaries give important evidence of the early culture contacts. In addition, archaeologists and anthropologists research as logistics have helped scholars piece together an understanding of ancient cultures and historical people. Just talking about conflict. Terminology. Collectively, First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people constitute Indigenous people of Canada. Indigenous people of the Americans are First Nations people. First Nations as a term became officially used beginning in the 1980s to replace the word Indian band. In referring to groups of Indians with common government and language, the terms have come into common usage in the 1970s to avoid using the word Indian, which some Canadians consider offensive. No legal definition of the term exists. Some Indigenous people in Canada have also adopted the term First Nations to replace the word band in informal name of the community. A band is a body of Indians who are used a benefit in common lands and have been set apart. Monies are held or declared to be a band in purpose of the Indian Act by the Canadian Crown. Term Indian is a misnomer given to Indigenous people of North America by European explorers who thought they had landed in the East Indies used the term Native American, which the U.S. government and others have adopted, is not common in Canada. It refers more specifically to the Indigenous people residing within the bounds of the United States. The parallel term Native Canadian is not commonly used, but Native and autochtone are the Greek auto-owned and are the Royal Proclamation of 1763, also known as the Indian Magna Carta. The Crown refers to Indigenous people as British territory, as tribes or nations. The term First Nation is capitalized. Bands and nations might have slight differences meaning. I
think that's really where our questions would end.
Yeah.
So a little glimpse through that once again. Basically, the term Indian we don't use. That was switched to First Nations or to Aboriginal people, Indigenous people. We do not use the word Indians because most of us find it offensive. Along with band, we are just considered, like I said, First Nation, like a First Nation, not a band. A First Nation is a group of Aboriginal people, Native people that reside in that First Nation. Not band. We don't really use band anymore. Some do, some don't. Oh, thank you. We just got these just so that we could have better sound, so there's no echoing, anything like that. And you can hear a lot more.
No kidding.
We have, some new professional headphones, things like that, just to make the podcast.
You can hear a pin drop. It's really
okay.
It's something.
Yes. So we're going to start off with our questions. The first one is
here. There you go.
Which two countries originally colonized Canada?
I know this answer. I knew it before I searched it up. I had to learn about this in my name today's class.
And if you've gone to school, or if you are in high school, university, even just elementary, you learn a lot about the treaties. So this should be an easy question. You can search it up, but we do want you guys to call in. Once again, the question is on the screen.
And also, I checked, it is online as well.
And we did talk about this yesterday.
All of these questions that you can search up online, I made sure of it. So,
yes. We talked about it yesterday. We mentioned it more than 3 times. I swear, I even mentioned it not too long ago.
Yeah. I don't think we talked about question 2 or 3 though.
I don't think so either. But I think they should know it though.
They should.
We have a caller.
Here you go. You can answer.
Hello.
I have an answer for your question.
Yes.
Can I get your name first?
Cheyenne.
Oh, what's your answer, Cheyenne?
England and France.
That is correct. Thank you so much for calling in. You have been entered in for the draws.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You as well.
Bye.
Wow. First caller of the night. I'm so glad you guys are interested in the treaties just as much as we are. So shout out to Cheyenne. It is France and England. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. France and England were the first to colonize in Canada. We will move on to the second question. When was Treaty 6 signed? And a lot of my fellow Mosquito or, people that live in the Treaty 6 area, you should know this. We've learned a lot about this in school. Yes, I do. I did know this. I learned about it at least 4 times in my life. 4 times.
You can hear you swallowing.
Yikes.
There's
comments.
I didn't even look at those.
What's the number?
Oh, yeah. I need to pin that.
Can I just write it?
You could. But can you even do that?
You guys have to let me know if you see it or not. I'm not too sure. Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa, okay.
All right.
Our other Musco legacy.
The Twitch commented as well.
The Twitch commented as well.
I didn't know it
Aaron
could do that.
from Twitch. That's okay.
I'll see if I can pin it.
So, when was Treaty
Treaty
6 signed, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure you should all know this. This is a really easy question. It's not like something brand new. I'm pretty sure a lot of us have known about this. We have a caller.
Oh, I forgot to put it. Oh wait, I'm missing it. Okay.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Can I get your name?
Melina.
Hi,
Monica.
Melina.
And what is your answer, Melina?
August 23rd.
What
We
year?
need the year.
6,
Sorry?
1876.
That is correct.
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling in, Lenina. You've been in for the draw.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So the answer was 1876, guys. That's when Treaty 6 was first signed. It was in 1876. We will go more into detail about Treaty 6 in a later podcast, but that is what you need to know for now, is it was signed in 1876. We do have a lot to learn about that and a lot to learn about who was involved in the signing of Treaty 6.
Oh, I know that. I had to write an essay about it.
It was Melina. Yes.
Melina. I thought she said Lenina.
I heard Melina. I don't know where you heard Lenina. Yikes.
You know what? I don't take this bullying.
Okay, next one. I'm pretty sure you guys should all know this one as well. When was Treaty 4 signed? If you can give the exact date.
Look at this. This is cool. You can see that. I didn't know you could see
They're on
that.
top end.
Yeah, I thought you could see that from on the page. I didn't know you could see it in the comments though.
What?
Could everyone see that or just
What?
us?
The
Like the
top one?
admins, yeah.
Oh, no, just everyone can see it.
Actually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when was Treaty 4 signed, ladies and gentlemen? Let's get those calls rolling in. I'm sure a lot of you know this from school or from just living in the area. Hi, Milton. How are you? I'm teaching our people about the treaties because it is very important to learn and to talk about because, yes, you got it correct. It was September 4th, 1874 that Treaty 4 was signed. Like I said, later podcast, we will be talking about who was involved in the signing of Treaty 4 and 6, how that happened, things like that. But we do know some were forced, in signing. We're not too exactly sure. Yes, he was. And he died in later days.
Did he die in prison? I remember that. I had to write an essay about it. He got they basically lied and put him in prison, and then he got sick. He passed away there.
Yeah, I read that in the university essay that I sent you.
I'd use it for inspiration.
Anyways.
Oh yeah, do you like our mugs?
Guys, I have the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Like we
mug.
went shopping on Boxing Day, and she got a Halloween.
It's not a Halloween mug. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Then why is there Halloween things on there? That's
because that's his theme.
And then I got a Stitch mug. Mine's so much cuter.
I agree. What was the name of the disease that killed thousands of Native Americans? And if you can get all three, I will enter you twice. If you can get all three. There's
only two.
There's three.
There's different names. So there's, I can't even tell you because the mics will
pick
it up.
I can tell you. Hold on. Oh.
Well, we're already there, so. Yeah, that's one.
And there's.
Yeah, that's
and that
two.
other one is, it's in here.
Which one? Oh, are you talking? Wait, like, are you talking about this one?
No.
Which one then? Because that and that are the same thing.
Those two are the same?
Not this one. I was about to say it, but this one. And this one are the same thing.
Can I check? Because there's three and you need to get them correct.
But there's like different.
We need to know for our people.
There's not three. There's two because they had different names.
There was three. That killed off. It said three.
It said two.
It said three.
I remember.
Let's not argue.
We're not arguing. We're having a little debate.
Our debate needs to be squashed.
Our debate needs to be squashed.
Hello, can I get your name?
Tyrone?
Hello, Tyrone.
Yes.
Do you have the answer for us?
Yes.
Okay, shout it out.
Smallpox and measles.
Yes, that is correct.
That is correct. Thank you so much for calling in. You will be entered in for tonight's draw.
Alrighty, sounds good.
All right. Tyrone. Shout out to Tyrone.
Oh, there is 3. Is that
Yeah.
what you're talking about? Because
Yeah, there's
Spanish.
influenza, smallpox, and measles, but you did get 2 out of the 3 correct, so we will still put you in. I was trying to look for all 3, somebody that could tell me all 3, but that's completely
totally forgot
fine.
about
That's why I was
measles.
debating with her because I knew there was
But like
3.
measles, did measles even take out as much
But
as influenza?
I will put in this question personally. It won't be on the screen, but I'm going to take this one off. This one's coming from my heart because I learned about it yesterday.
Do you want to write it down?
No, it's fine. How many?
Alright, okay. That was
How
Tyrone.
many percent of natives were killed off during the time that the smallpox, measles, and influenza came around? If anybody knows this,
Can I be entered?
you cannot be entered
Why not?
because you are beside me. You are my co-host. We are the entertainers of this show. No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it
It's-
is.
Look in the book right now.
Look in the
because
book.
this is-
I know. I remember reading it. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's that.
I'm going
It's
to
this
look.
to
No,
that.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
Look, I'm gonna get you wrong. You're
get
gonna
me
hate
wrong.
my
You
how
make-
smart I am.
No,
Because I got it. You
remember.
just tried to correct me on the last one and you got it wrong. So do not try to
But look
correct
at
me, sis.
I know this one for sure though.
1/3. We're looking for a percentage, by the way, guys. The
Yeah.
percentage that was killed off during
You
that
donate the
time.
money to.
Oh, it is. I'm so
See?
sorry. Yes. I love this youth group. Thank you so much. We're doing a lot of learning now.
See?
Guys, we had our
There you
fun and
go.
games. Now it's
There
time to
you
learn.
go.
Boop, boop,
So-
boop, boop. What was the percentage that... Oh, we got a call. Hello. Can we get your name?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can I
Hi.
get your name?
What was the question?
What was the percentage of Aboriginal people that were killed off during the time of influenza, smallpox, and
Measles.
measles?
Boy, I should know this one. That one. Geez. It's smallpox and measles. Wait, I know this. Let's see. Smallpox and measles and... Oh my God. Now I forgot. I had it. Sorry, I forgot.
You want to give a guess?
Smallpox. German measles.
No, what was the percent of Aboriginal people that... What was the percent of Aboriginal people that got killed off due to the
Those
diseases?
Americans.
No, how many people were killed off?
How many people were killed off?
How
How
many
many people
percent?
died? What was the percent of people that died during smallpox and measles?
Let's see, it can't be by, there wasn't like, it was, what was it? Geez, 200?
A
I don't
percentage?
think it went by 1,000.
A percentage. Was it like
That's
30?
just a guess. It's just, yeah, but I tried.
All
Okay,
right.
yes, well,
you
thank
so
you very much for
trying.
participating.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
And for the person, for Milton who said 1/3, you are incorrect. For Isquel and Amo, you both got that incorrect as well. It was not 90%.
So like, since it's that broad of a whatever, do
Yeah,
we just like
so
take a percentage in between
in
or what?
between the percentages that we have.
So technically,
No, it's not because that's outside of the percentages that.
no,
is
it's
there.
not. It's inside.
Outside.
Oh, is that?
It's not a 6.
Oh, I thought it. I'm.
I kind of gave that away.
Ah.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, we did. Okay.
Mm,
I didn't mean to do that.
don't hurt yourself.
I think I will. But is the camera foggy or is that just me? Okay, don't go past that toothpick or the toothpick, the Q-tip. Q-tip, not the cotton pad. Q-tip. There you go. Don't hurt yourself there. We're just gonna, there it is. See,
Read.
Read.
Okay. So,
Read
since you
right.
guys do not know, European colonization.
Wait, that says the percentage.
Yeah, I'm just going to give them the answer because obviously they don't know it, so we might as well educate the people.
Well,
I'm going to educate my people.
well, shouldn't have
It's not a question that was on our questions. I just wanted
we'll
to
just
say
read
it.
from here, and they'll, if they catch the answer, then they call and then
They won't catch the answer.
They'll catch it. I promise. Aboriginal people in Canada interacted with Europeans as far back as 1000 AD, but prolonged contact came after Europeans established permanent settlements in the 1700s and 18th century. Europeans' written accounts for friendliness on the part of the First Nations, who profited in trade with Europeans, such trade strengthened the more organized politics entities, such as the
Iroquois Confederation.
What she said. The Aboriginal population estimated between 200,000 and 2 million in the late 15th centuries. The effect of European colonization was up to 40 to 80%. Aboriginal population was decreased post-contact and attributed to various factors, including repeat outbreaks of European infectious disease such as influenza, measles, and smallpox, to which they had not developed immunity to. International conflicts all over the fur trade, conflicts with colonial authorities and settlers, and loss of land, and the subsequent loss of First Nations self-sufficiency. For example, during the late 1630s, smallpox killed more than half of the Huron, who controlled most of the early fur trade, and what became Canada reduced to fewer than 10,000 people. The Huron Wendat were attacked by the
Iroquois.
Their traditional enemies in the Maritimes and the Beothuk disappeared entirely.
You need to slow down your reading a bit. You're kind of skipping over words. But you're doing a great job. Okay, so
yeah, the answer was in there if you were listening.
If you're listening, you can now give us the answer if you just heard what she was reading.
I think it's pretty broad though.
Actually, it really is. It's a big section, like a big
really
percentage,
is.
And if you guess in between that two, we will take you.
Yeah,
we will
so you can really just give out a random guess and it could be.
Yeah, but she did say the answer. If you were listening, yes, Milton, you got that correct. It was 40 to 80% of our people that had died off due to these,
the next person to give the right answer will be
next person to give the right answer, even if you just comment it. It's as easy as that. Yeah. As long as you guys are learning and have the knowledge that what had happened to our people during that time.
There we go. We got our caller. Because Milton's already entered. So, hello.
Hi, this is Jazeera Iron.
Hi, Jazeera.
I think the answer is 50%.
Yes, because you were in the
zone.
In the zone, like the 40 to 80% zone, we will give you the chance to be entered. But thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, yeah, so it was between 40 to 80% that had died off. So there's nearly only 10,000 Aboriginal at that time because there's 200 to 2 million that died off during that time. There's not an exact, we're just saying 40 to 80%. That's because of what we know,
Yeah.
Next is, what was the name of the disease that killed off thousands of Native Americans? We had gone through that, sorry.
Yeah,
see? Through that. Who was the first to lay claims in Canada?
We all know this guy. I don't think many people like him.
Oh, I talked about it earlier. This is the one you said I was giving the answer away to. Oh, okay. Yes, so we did talk about it. She can quickly read over it. She will quickly read about him. And if we did go over this yesterday, just broadly. Between the peoples and those from other continents, even in Columbus time, there was much speculation that other Europeans had made the trip in ancient or contemporary times. So
You keep with the answer.
yeah, I didn't say the answer. I said even in Columbus time, there was much speculation that other Europeans had made the trip in ancient or contemporary times. So there is other people that did make the trip to, our land at that time, but this is the person that was acknowledged. This is the person who was known.
Most known for traveling. First.
Another thing behind that is that he thought he was in East Indies.
You're giving away something.
I'm not giving away.
Yes, you are, because the next cup. Where is it? One of the questions is about the East Indies.
Where?
Right there.
They won't know. Obviously, because they
Keep
would have
going.
called already and said the answer. Jacques Cartier. I love history. We're loving this history as well. We learn a lot. And no, it was not Jacques.
But he was one of them.
But he was one of them. He
wasn't as recognized as this person.
Yeah. This guy's really recognized. This guy's really talked about because,
for some odd reason.
Because of his discovery.
Discovery.
I'm really trying hard to educate. No, it was not John. But great answer. Yes, he must have been. He may have been one of the many that had traveled at that time, but it was not Jacques or John. I'm surprised that nobody has answered this one yet, because it is I really did say the answer earlier. And if you guys were paying attention, you guys would have noticed and understood this question. But like we said, who was the first to lay claims in Canada? There was people who traveled here, yes, in the beginning during the Columbus times, but it was not Jacques or John. They did travel at that time. Sorry, guys, if you hear any background noises.
What does that symbol mean? The
Top
green
fan.
one. No, the green one.
It means they're watching.
But how come none of the other ones have it?
Because they're not watching.
Well, clearly they are.
This guy was watching.
No,
Obviously.
I'm kidding. But how come none of the...
I'm not even quite sure. But just to read over this a little bit more, to give you a little bit more history.
You stop right there. So you want to say that?
Gonzalo Fernandez de Avido Valadez records accounts of these in his General y Natural Historia de las Indias of 1526, which includes biographical information on so-and-so. Aboriginal first contact period is not well defined. The earliest accounts of contact occurred in the late 10th century between the Bothak and Norsemen, according to the sagas of Icelanders. The first European to see what is now Canada was...
Go ahead.
Bjarni Hero Folsen, who was blown off course en route from Iceland to Greenland in the summer of 985 or 986 CE. The first European explorers and settlers of what is now Canada relied on the First Nations peoples for resources and trade to sustain a living. The first written accounts of interactions shown a predominantly old world bias, labeling the indigenous people as savages, although the indigenous peoples were organized and self-sufficient. So, in these early days of contact, the First Nations and Inuit populations welcomed the Europeans, assisting them in living off the land and joining forces with the French and British in their various battles. It was not until the colonial and imperial forces of Britain and France established dominant settlements and, no longer needing the help of First Nations people, began to break treaties and force them off the land, that the antagonism between the two groups grew. So this was between the 16th and 18th century. This was all happening, and it was not Pierre Trudeau. It was not him as well. He was one of the first people to come this way, but he was not the one that was first to lay claims in Canada. So it was the French and British people that, kind of broke the first treaties and, forced themselves to settle here. We will keep reading, but the question is on the screen. Who was the first to lay claims in Canada? Like I said,
We said it.
Columbus times. He did come and he did, but that's the last time I'm going to say that. I will allow her to continue reading a little bit more because if you keep listening, you guys will understand the coming up questions.
Yeah.
We literally give away the answers while we read, and then yes. But anyways, continue, please.
The Portuguese crown claimed that it had territorial rights in the area visited by Cabot. In 1493, Pope Alexander V, assuming international jurisdiction, had divided land discovered in America between Spain and Portugal. The next year, in the Treaty of Tordesillas, these two kingdoms decided to draw the dividing line, running north-south 370 leagues from 1,500 to 2,200 kilometers, approximately, depending on the league, west of the Cape Verdes Islands. Land to the west would be Spanish, to the east Portuguese, given the uncertain geography of the day. These seem to give the new-found isle to Portuguese. In 1605, King Henry V of France granted Pierre
Duga.
Duga.
We have a caller. Hello, can we get your name?
Hi, this is Lenina Nicotine.
Hello, Lenina. What is your answer?
Elijah Smith.
It was not Elijah Smith. You are getting very close. He was one of the people that have traveled during that time. But he is not the person who claimed Canada.
But thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So you're saying everybody but the person we're looking for.
You guys are saying all the people that have traveled here during that time, during this, what was
Columbus
it?
time.
The Columbus time. Yes, the Columbus time.
Yes,
And you can search up the answer.
That's when all these people traveled.
During Columbus time.
Yep. So like Pierre and John and all these
Elijah,
people
Jacques, all these guys traveled here to Canada
in
Columbus time. But it was not Henry Sinclair as well. He was one of the travelers. He was not the person who was first to lay claims in Canada. Like we said, this guy thought he was in East Indies. I'm educating my people.
Ooh.
And if that, okay.
I think we have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, can I get your name?
Maurice Spyglass.
Maurice Spyglass. And what is your answer, Maurice?
Would that be John Cabot?
It
That
is not,
but thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
See, so I'm going to go over a little bit of the history behind this question. This man, this individual had
This colonist
came in Columbus time thinking he was in East Indies, calling us Indians, which we are not Indians, we are First Nations. This man thought he was in East Indies. He is one of the first people to make claims in Canada. Like I said, he thought he was lost. He traveled the seas. He was lost. He thought he was going to East Indies. He didn't know this was, it wasn't called Canada at the time, but he did travel to this land we now call Canada. He thought he was in East Indies. So, to clarify that is a little bit of history behind this question in case you guys are kind of stumbled. These are travelers that you guys are naming that had traveled here during that time. We are looking for the person that.
What time did these travelers travel again?
What time? When did they travel? During Columbus time.
Oh yeah, once again in Columbus time.
Yes, they did travel in Columbus time, thinking they're going. But this certain individual was thinking he was going to East Indies, calling us Indians, which we are not Indians. We are First Nations. Is there any more that we could give away about this
I don't
answer?
think you can ever get clearer than that. Let's
To
try
be
read
more
over that.
clear, between the first peoples and those from other continents, even in Columbus' time, there is much speculation that other Europeans had made the trip in ancient or contemporary times.
So all the people that you're naming were the
Are-
other people that
Made the trip during this ancient and contemporary time. 1526, which includes biographical information on Columbus or Aboriginal first contact period, is not well defined. Columbus who? You guys are getting close. I'm very proud of you guys making that effort. We are giving a lot of information out here for you guys to be able to better understand.
Milton.
Milton, yes. We were looking at the comments. Thank you so much for getting that correct. Yes, it was Christopher Columbus. He was the first to travel and, make claims here in Canada saying he was in East India, but he was not. He was on First Nations land, and he did not understand that yet until more travelers and Europeans had come around. Shan, you also got that correct. It was Columbus, Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
And we do ask that you guys call in just to
They're
give other people a chance.
entered already.
And Shan and Milton are entered already.
So if someone just wants to repeat
if
what
anybody
they said,
wants to repeat what they said,
Yeah,
call
yeah.
in, be confident about their answer, then we will enter you. Yes.
want to pass it quickly. Oh,
Here we go. I'm not letting that play.
you're not going to play that.
So I'm going to allow her to keep reading.
What
Give us some more information, sweetheart.
Alright, was.
Okay. Hello, can we get your name?
Maurice Spyglass.
Yes.
Would that be Christopher Columbus?
Yes,
Yes,
it
sir.
would.
You are correct.
Thank you so much for calling in, Maurice. You could enter into the
Thank
draws.
you.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello.
Pretty good.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi, what is your name?
I'm Alice Spyglass.
Annalise Spyglass. Okay, do you have the answer for us? What is that?
This is, I'm trying to say Christopher Columbus, but you keep getting shy.
Oh, okay. Yes, it was Christopher Columbus. We did already get a previous caller that
Did
called
call
in.
with the
Yes,
phone.
but thank you so much for listening and paying attention.
Hi.
So yes, it was Christopher Columbus, guys. We will move on to the next question. We do like to kind of give a little background talk around each question, just so you guys, have a little bit more confidence and kind of understand more behind what we are trying to say. Like we said, we hinted out Christopher Columbus multiple times.
Yeah.
So, what was the name of the first trading post in Canada?
No.
Oh, do we have Do we have?
Oh.
Oh, right
Yeah.
here. You can read about it.
Well, that's okay. Whatever. Okay. Is there another page to this? An expedition captured about 60 Aboriginal people as slaves who were said to resemble gypsies in color, features, statues, and aspects. They're clothed in the skins of various animals. They're very shy and gentle, but well formed in legs and arms and shoulders, beyond description. Some captives sent by Casper Corderreal reached Portugal. The others drowned with Gaspar on the return voyage. Gaspar's brother, Miguel Cortel Real, went to look for him in 1502 but failed to return. Samuel de Champlain. Oh, there you got a comment. Okay.
No. Very
It's,
close. Very close. It is a
City.
She's going to keep reading and you guys will understand.
Samuel Villeplain, the St. Croix settlement moved to Port Royal, a new site across the Bay of Fundy on the shore of the Annapolis Basin inlet in western Nova Scotia. Acadia became France's most successful colony at the time. The cancellation of Dugas from monopoly in 1607 ended the Port Royal settlement. Champlain pursued First Nations to allow him to settle along the St. Lawrence, where in 1608 he would find France's first permanent colony. Oh my gosh. Okay. Where he would find France's first permanent colony in Canada at Quebec City. The colony of Acadia grew slowly, reaching a population of about 5,000 by 1713. New France had cod fishery, coastal communities, and farm economy support communities along the St. Lawrence River. French voyagers traveled deep into the hinterlands of what is today Quebec, Ontario, and Manitoba, as well as now the American Midwest and the Mississippi Valley, trading with First Nations as well as guns, gunpowder, cloth, knives, and kettles for beaver fur. The fur trade kept the interest in France's overseas colonies alive, yet only encouraged a small colonial population as minimum labor was required. The trade also discouraged the development of agriculture, the surest foundation of a colony in the New World.
So she did say the answer 2 times. Like we said, it is a city. They did make trades at this time with what objects were involved in the trade?
Gunpowder, guns,
Clothes, knives, cloth.
knives, and kettles for beaver fur.
Just for beaver fur. All of that for beaver fur. They First Nations were able to get gunpowder, cloth, knives, and kettles just for beaver fur. Just for hunting their, beavers. Just for hunting their own beavers, they were able to get things in return to help them. But yet, we will, get more into how these things were turned against them.
So once again, French voyagers traveled deep into Hinder's Tales, what is now Quebec City. Oh,
they hung up. Okay, they got shy.
okay.
Acadia. It is not Acadia. It is a city.
French voyagers traveled deep into the Hindersville, and Hindersville is now today's Quebec City.
Did you say Hindersfield? Hinderlands?
Oh, I said Hindersfield?
Yeah, you said Hindersfield.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I meant Hinderslands. Whoopsies. As well as now American Midwest of the Mississippi Valleys. So that's where they did all their trading.
Was near the Mississippi Valley. That is in the American Midwest area.
Hinder's land.
Oh, okay. Keep getting shy. Joe Pasakanak said Quebec. We need to hear that from Joe Pasakanak herself. You cannot comment Joe Pasakanak and then say Quebec. We need her to call in or comment, just to make it fair for everybody else. I'm not going to say whether or not you got the right answer, but
I was about to, but then
we would like you to get Joe to call in. Oh, I can hear your ice from your cup.
We could start an ASMR channel here. Oh, I'll just use my face. How about?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you just
Okay? So more of what we were talking about. The trade also discouraged the development of agriculture, the center foundation of a colony in the New World. This did not. They did not make really good trades during this time. Oh, we got a caller.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, can I get your name?
Lenina Nicotine.
Lenina?
Is the answer Quebec City?
Yes,
That is
ma'am. You got that correct.
Thank you so much for calling in, Lenina.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. You
So
can
that
write
was.
your name down.
I like how we haven't heard her name saved.
Yeah,
on your
I know. I
phone.
wrote it so many times.
You wrote it so many times that we have most of these names saved from previous
The
podcasts.
25 Days of Christmas thing.
Yes. So that is correct. You did get that correct. It is Quebec City. That is where they did the first trading.
That was their trading. That was where they did all their trading from.
Yes. So that was between the Europeans also and the First Nations people.
Next question is, who set up the first trading post in Canada?
Yes.
And we said his name.
We did say his name.
Want to read that?
Where?
That's the guy right there.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's read the page before.
What's that right there? Or wait.
Wait, right here.
Yeah.
They were very shy and gentle, but well formed in arms and legs and shoulders beyond descriptions. This is how they describe gypsies.
That's what First Nation people thought, but they captured them because they thought they were gypsies. So that's why they went into captivity.
That's Aboriginal people?
Yeah, look at it. Literally says that.
Oh.
They captured 60 Aboriginal people, but they thought they resembled gypsies. So they took our people because it looked like gypsies.
So we were slaves?
At some point in time.
So Casper, on the return voyage, Casper's brother Miguel Corderil went to look for him in 1502, but also failed to return. Samuel de Champlain, the St. Croix settlement, moved to Port Royal, which is known today as Annapolis Royal, Nova Scotia. It is a new site across the Bay of Fundy on the shore of the Annapolis Basin, an inlet in western Nova Scotia. So I just said his name. It was not Governor James Knight. This all happened near the Bay of Fundy. Are they?
Yeah, this is talking about the trading post, and then this is talking about how we are captured for looking like gypsies.
That's kind of
so. Gasper captured
Casper. I think this is the page that was
yeah.
posted. Oh,
not this one.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh.
In 1605, King Henry
the Fifth
of France granted Pierre a fur trade monopoly. Duga led his first colonization expedition to an island located near the mouth of the St. Croix River. Samuel de Champlain, his geographer, prominently carried out a major exploration of the northeastern coastline of what is now the United States. I never knew that. I never knew that Samuel de Champlain.
Oh, he was a geographer?
He was a geographer, but he was also...
Who was a geographer?
Yes.
Who was?
Samuel de Champlain was a geographer.
Oh.
Yeah. He also was, something else, but I'm not too sure. I don't really know, but, yeah.
So Samuel de Champlain did a lot, didn't he?
He did a very lot for us First Nation people back in 1604.
Yeah.
In the fur trading post. Did you know that? He was involved.
Wow, he was.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who, exactly, what exactly he did, but, it does say
he was involved.
That Samuel de Champlain was a geographer.
I don't think we're saying his name right. Samuel de Champlain.
Champlain.
He's French.
So I'm going to search up the name and give you a little history about Samuel.
Oh, what about King Harry? He granted Samuel.
King Harry the Fifth.
The Fifth.
You have to say the fifth because he is the fifth. He is not the first, second, third, or fourth. He is the fifth.
Or he's not the sixth.
He's not the sixth, or seventh, or eighth, or ninth, or 10th. He is the fifth.
All right.
Of France.
He
was the king of France. We need to get that correct. Just to give you guys.
He was the fifth king of France.
Yes. Samuel de Champlain was born December. Oh wait, what?
What?
No. He was a French colonist navigator. He was a explorer, a soldier, and theologist. Deployment. He made between 29 21 to 29 trips across the Atlantic Ocean and founded Quebec in New France on July 3rd, 1608. He is an important figure in Canadian history.
That's not the name.
Champlain. Oh, that's how you say the last name. Champlain.
Where's the S though? I see a C.
Champlain. The Champlain.
Champlain.
Or the Champlain. We sound very French.
I know.
But yes, this man was a very important figure in Canadian history. Champlain created the first accurate coastal map during this exploration and founded various colonial settlements. That is, this is a very important man. But the question is, who set up the first trading post in Canada? I wonder.
Oh, where was the trading post again?
In Quebec City.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, and Samuel discovered Quebec, right?
Yes, Samuel discovered Quebec. He also
discovered Montreal, but we can do that one right now. Oh, it's Morgan.
Yes, Morgan, you did get it correct.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, anyways, we're going to continue reading.
You've been entering for the draw.
But we will put up the next question while we read. So you guys have the opportunity to get that in. Where did Christopher Columbus think he landed in 1492 when he reached North America? We did talk about this earlier. I said it a couple of times, just to give you guys a hint on that it was Christopher Columbus in the previous question. But to continue, she will continue reading. Very important information. We've glanced over this. We don't really need to read this. We read this one. This one we can read. Hello, what is your name?
Maurice, bye guys.
Hi, do you have the answer for us?
Christopher Columbus was looking for India.
That is correct. Thank you so much for calling in. What was his name?
Maurice. Thank you.
Bye.
So Maurice is already entered.
That is correct.
Yes, Jack McKee, you are entered. It was he did think he landed in East Indies, not India, but East Indies. That's why he called us Indians at that time.
India.
India. Okay, well, I like to say Indies, okay? To make me sound very smart and educated. But yes, he did think he landed in East Indies. He did call us Indians, but then later found out that we were the First Nations and we were first here, rather than him just saying he was the first one here when he was not. So she's going to tell you a little bit about slavery because we did learn a little bit about that from the last.
What about the next question?
Oh yes, we shall put up the next question.
Oh, is that mine or yours?
9. And she died.
Yeah, this is the one.
What was the most common transportation all year long?
So what did First Nations people use all year long for their transportation? Like,
That's really hard to think about because, there's a lot of different types of animals during that time that you could
and
ride.
they use different things as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so do they need to answer the thing that they used and the thing that they rode?
Like, if you look right here, that's what they used.
Oh!
So you get it now?
I understand these questions now.
So there you go.
It's a lot of learning. I'm learning in progress. We're on the 9th question. We'll be on the 10th one. But for now, we are going to go into slavery and, what had happened during the time for us First Nation people. Horses.
Incorrect, but
Very incorrect, but very good answer. We could have rode horses back then. You never know. But that wasn't a transportation that we used all year long. It was something we used during, certain times.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they did use horses all year long. Yeah, they did, but that's not the answer we're looking for.
Do you think they did use horses all year long?
Like,
Like, what if they let the horses?
Grandma always used to talk about how she used to ride her horse at school in the winter.
Oh my gosh! Wow, snowshoes. No,
Snowshoes.
that was a form of transportation, but that wasn't a transportation that
Snowshoes
they
in the
used.
summer, though.
Yeah, think about it. All year long, snowshoes.
First Nations routinely captured slaves from neighboring tribes. Sources report that the conditions under which First Nation slaves lived could be brutal, with the Mataka tribe practicing death by starvation by punishment in Pacific.
Did you say Mataka or is it macaw?
Macaw tribe. Practice death by starvation as punishment in the Pacific Coast tribes routinely performed rituals, killing of slaves as part of social ceremonies in the mid 1800s. Slave-owning tribes of the fishing societies such as Huron Haiti lived along the coast from what is now Alaska to California. Fierce warriors, indigenous slave traders at the Pacific Northwest coast raided as far south as California. Slavery was hereditary, the slaves and their descendants being considered prisoners of war. Some tribes in British Columbia continued to segregate and ostracize the descendants of slaves as late as the 1970s among Pacific Coast tribes. About a quarter of the population were slaves.
Cheyenne says wagon. That is a form of transportation. They might have used that all year long, but that is not the correct answer.
That is not the answer we're looking for.
Is there something we could read off?
That's what I was trying to look for, but I couldn't find anything.
Couldn't really find anything.
Unless you wanna
There
search
is many
something up.
forms of transportation. We could.
This is a tough question because there's
This
so
is a
many
really
different
tough
forms.
question. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing in here about it.
I just want to read something off, just to give you guys a little bit more information on it. Just because it's not in our book, and you guys need to be educated on what we used at that time. Why did I spell tier, not year? Many of means of travel that were used to explore and develop Canada were inherited from Canada's first peoples, First Nations. Many of these methods of travel are still used today for work and recreations. For thousands of years, first people walked most places, especially in winter. They developed two outstanding devices for making travel over deep Canadian snows more manageable: the snowshoe and the toboggan. Toboggans could be pulled or by hand or by dog teams. They used well-defined routes of travel for going on hunting trips and on the warpath. They made use of waterways wherever possible and used mortgage paths to avoid rapids. So these are some pictures. Is it okay that I show these pictures?
Go for it.
Are you sure? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So this is a picture of the
A
toboggan
toboggan.
that they had used. I'm just getting these off of the internet, by the way. These aren't my pictures. And this is a second picture of another thing that they used during that time. Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, can you get your name?
What was that?
Harmony Spyglass.
Oh, this is Harmony Spyglass. Okay. And what is your answer, Harmony?
Vico.
What was that?
feel like cutting out.
You're cutting out. Can you say that one more time?
Vehicle, she said.
Oh, that is not correct.
No, that is not correct. We're talking about the back in the days transportation that they used.
But thank you so much for calling in.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So once again,
I'm just gonna delete that. There you go.
they use different forms of transportation to go over during the winter time, the summertime, the war times. They did use multiple different forms of transportation.
But there's one thing in specific that they use like
all year long. Yes, Morgan, you got it correct. They did use a lot of walking, and they did use canoes.
That was the answer we were looking for.
That was the answer we were looking for. We were hoping somebody would comment sooner or later, and you got that correct. Yes. It was canoes.
Wait. She's already entered.
Mm-hmm.
We just need one person to
say
her
answer, if you could. I will get Colette to continue reading while we wait for an answer.
The citizens of New France received slaves as gifts from their allies among First Nations people. Slaves were prisoners taken in raids against the village of the Fox Nation, a tribe that was an ancient rival of the Miami people and their Anishinaabe allies. Native slaves were much easier to obtain and thus more numerous than African slaves in New France, but less valued. The average native slave died at 18, and the average African slave died at 25. By 1790, the abolition movement was gaining ground in Canada, and the ill intent of slavery was evicted by an accident.
Hello?
Walking canoe.
That is correct. Can I get your name?
Honey Flash.
Thank you so much for calling in, Harmony. You've been entering for the draw.
Okay,
and
so
the last question.
Our last question is, what was the female's role in Aboriginal tribes? I think a lot of our female women that I hope are watching should know this. We do this to this day. If you get 1 out of the 5, no, there's 6. 1 out of the 6 correct, we will give you the chance to be entered.
Yeah. There's 6 different possible answers that you can get, so just call in and tell us.
Tell us just one. What do you think are the
what we used to do?
What the female roles were back in our days, like back when our ancestors were alive, what was the thing that they had to do? What was their roles at that time, What would you think? Bannock making. You never know. We could have made bannock back then, There's things we could have done for, men.
Yeah, they obviously had different roles than the men, because I don't think women would really go out hunting.
Or women wouldn't really go out, chopping that wood, or, building the teepees, or, hooking up the horses.
Like, play stereotypes, or... Yeah.
Not to, genderize anything, but, cook and clean. During that time, there wasn't really a lot of cleaning to do.
Because they lived on, like, log houses.
Yeah, log houses.
But they did.
Teepees. Some lived in igloos, some lived in
igloos. You're talking about like Inuit people up north.
But we're talking about First Nations people in general, First Nations women in general.
True.
So it could be anything. You never know, because we did live in many different places. Wow. No, that is not the answer.
Not the answer we're looking for.
What would you guys think that our ancestors did for the men and for themselves back in the day?
Yeah. Hello.
Would that be setting up and taking down their teepee and moving?
That would be the men's role. Back when our ancestors were alive, that would be the men's role to put down and take up the teepee. We're looking for the woman's role. What was their role back in the day?
Would that that would be Like the men would go hunting and the women would clean the food and like prepare it.
Yes, you're very close.
Come
If you could give a little bit more explanation, that would be great.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, you too.
He was very close. You guys are very close. Cutting the meat. Chan says.
Right here. Yeah, that.
Nope. Nope. Everything the men didn't do. We need a specific answer.
Basic.
We don't know.
The men didn't.
We don't know what exactly the men and women did. That's why we're looking for specific answers. You know, they could have done different things. Like, I think I'm not sure who had just called in, but that person had said, putting up and taking down the teepee.
That'd be the men's role.
That would be the men's role. That's one of the men's roles back then.
But if you were to think about it, what can women do that men can't?
Yeah, what do you think they did? You know, that was loud.
I know.
You know, what's one common thing that we do nowadays? Us women,
we still
while
do
the men go out and work. What's one thing we do? You know,
stay at home moms do a lot.
Stay at, huh?
A
lot of the women stay home and do what exactly? You know,
exactly.
Even to this day, we still do this.
But what else do they have to take care of in the house?
You know. We kind of really have to really get this one and props to yes, correct, Shan, you are correct. Yes, they did have to raise their kids. All the mothers are in control of raising the kids. The fathers did not, because they were out doing things for the woman and the children. So the women were in charge of the children and the men were in charge of being able to provide for the woman and children at the time.
You're also correct, Jack, but you guys have been entered.
Yes, you guys have already been entered.
So if someone wants to repeat their answer.
If somebody wants to repeat their answer, or unless you guys want to do another
easy entry. Yeah. I don't think we have any more questions. If you want to do one off the top of your head. Tanning, hide, and making clothes. That is correct.
That is correct as well, but you already are entered. Another thing at the top of my head. I should do a quick answer on the top of my head. What's something I've learned? What's something you want to say?
Let's do something about Chief Paulmaker and Big Bear.
When was Big Bear born? Anybody know?
I did a biography about him.
When was Chief Big Bear born, and when was his passing away date? When did Big Bear pass away? When was Big Bear born?
Wait. What what reserve was Big Bear the chief of?
You said it.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
Or was that where he was raised?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, can I enter your name?
My name is Greg Nicotine.
Okay.
Is the answer tanning hides and making clothes?
That is correct. Thank you so much for calling in, Greg. You can enter in for the draw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big shout out to Greg Nicotine for calling in. Yes, one of the roles was tanning hides and making clothes. So we will now move into our reel. I want to know one thing that you guys personally learned in today's.
And Big Bear was the
chief of what? Tell me. What was Big Bear the chief of?
Little Pine.
Yes.
I didn't say Little Pine. I said Pawn Maker.
Pawn Maker.
Pawn Maker.
We
didn't tell them what they're winning.
$25.
$425.
$425 e-transfers donated by
Big Boss.
Big Boss Erica Mohammed. Big shout out to her, guys. Give her a round of applause. Don't make that too loud.
You can.
Is this already all in there?
Yeah. I have to copy.
Hyan?
I didn't copy.
Okay. So,
I don't want to do
first off, I'm very proud of every single person that took the opportunity out of their day to learn something new about the treaties, to learn something new about, the Canadian Post, the trades, and things like that. Big shout out to you guys. Big shout out to the little girls that had called in.
It was so much fun to learn about this.
It's really fun because this is our history. This is who we are as Aboriginal people.
And
Big
some
shout
of
out
the
to
things
you
that you
guys.
didn't know. Like, I didn't know that we were slaves or got mistaken for gypsies.
I didn't know that. What's one thing that I didn't know? What's one thing that I didn't know? We learned a lot about today. Oh, the trading post. I didn't know it was in Quebec, and I didn't know it was Samuel. That was the first person to, come up with the trading post. I didn't know it was him. I did not know it happened in Quebec. I know nothing about fur trades, and this is teaching me a lot. We're learning at the same time as you guys and learning at the same pace. So really, it's kind of just giving us more.
We're learning
We can
together.
use all this information against anybody who comes at us and says certain things about us, Okay, so
Want to press the wheel?
first person.
The first winner tonight is going to be Jazeera Iron.
You are the first winner of tonight.
Screenshot it. Or not.
Anyways. It was
just
Jazeera.
Write it down, have that, so we don't forget it.
Don't forget it. Na, 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 na. Jazeera is the first winner. Okay. Second one
is going to be I think that is Harmony.
You are one of the winners.
To the side. There you go. Other side. To the side. There you go. Harmony is the second winner tonight. So there's Jazeera and Harmony. The third winner, that was so close. I was like Grandma Mom between Jack and Harmony. The third winner is Milton.
Milton MacArthur, you will be receiving $25. We just need you to send us your e-transfer.
I think I might. Actually, I think I might, because when he donated before, I have to click on my email.
Oh, okay.
So I might have that saved on my thing. So if I want to write that down. And the fourth and final winner is going to be.
Find out. Whoa. Tyrone, please get a hold of us. To all four of those winners, we congratulate you for learning.
And Morgan, would I just send Harmony's and Jazeera's to yours?
Please just let us know. But yes, a big round of applause for everybody that participated in today. We will be doing this every Thursday, most likely, right?
Most likely.
We will be learning a lot in between those days. We do ask that, kind of keep your brain space open for all this learning. It is very, important to learn about our lands and things like that.
Yeah.
Because you never know. This could come up in, your further education.
Who knows? Maybe one day you'll have to write an essay about our treaties.
And you've already learned, right? You have us that have been teaching you in the best way possible with a lot of happiness and laughter.
Yes,
but we thank you guys so much
for tuning in tonight. We will most likely see you next Thursday or sooner. Everybody have a great night, and bye-bye for now.